This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, hello everyone. So in the previous session, we have completed the revenue planning. So in this session or today's session, let us look the budgeting, project budgeting. Okay. So this is the main purpose of normally, in project management, what is the use of budget? And here, one more thing, what you need to consider that in SAP we have two things. But whereas when you're talking about from the business perspective, it is always one. Okay. From the business, they always call it as a budget, but when it comes to our SAP, we have both cost plan as well as budget. So which we should not confuse. Okay. So basically, the budget management for project is, what is a budget from the project perspective? It's a total sum of money allocated for the particular purpose for a specific period of time. So here there is two bindings. One is the amount, and that is for a specific purpose. So that's what when it comes to SAP, we are doing it through WBS element because that is what we consider as a special purpose or particular purpose. Then specific period of time. So here you guys already gone through the investment management. So there is also a lot of budgeting is there. Though that is the same concept when it comes to PS as well. So while it's the same concept where you have a budget, approved budget, and all those things. Okay. The goal of budget management is to control the project cost within the approved budget and deliver the expected project goals. So as we know that there is a two kind of projects, right? Internal project and external project. So internal projects like investment project is maybe if the entire investment is going out of budget, then maybe the management approve additional budget to complete it. But when you're talking about a customer project, then this will be a challenge, right? Because if you run out of budget, or you can say your cost is more than what is the revenue you are getting, then it's a problem. The project will go under loss. So that is a scenario normally comes. So the cost is more critical when it comes to a customer project. So again, when the execution point of view, what is the problem is like we said, whenever earlier we discussed that when you are talking about a project management, the project structuring, basically you need to consider from the execution perspective. So mostly when you're talking about an execution perspective, they will give preference to the schedule, because schedule means we'll have two things. One is the resources or utilization and optimization, and time, dates, how you will control the dates within the time period you will release it. So normally the finance looks into the budget more than the project manager. So, but to control a project manager also not to spend more than what is supposed to spend. So that is also required. So when you're talking about an SAP budget management perspective, so this is how it happens. The budget is approved cost structure for a project, and it differs from the cost planning in that it is binding. So there is a difference, right? Because cost plan, there is no binding because you can spend anything. Actual, so there is no control, or there is no control from cost planning perspective. But when it comes to budget, yes, there is an option which system can block you not to spend or not to consume more than what is approved, or you can say what is available. So normally what is done is the approach of budget allocation is you do a cost planning, overall planning, then it is considered as a budget, then that will be use it for the top-down approved budget, then budgeting, budget top-down distribution will be done in a structure. So same thing, what you have seen it in IM also, this is the same concept where the people will request through appropriation request what is the different budget is required. Then based on that program, that program position and all, it will be distributed below. And one more thing, basically the bigger public sector companies or even government companies and all, they have budget as a more, the requirement of their budget is more than what we see it in projects. So for that purpose, SAP has another module, we call it as a public sector management, PSM, which has got a funds management and there is a budget control system, BCS is there. So that is more stronger and more accurate, and it has a more control and all those things, because it has a derivation rule that has a lot of control available. You can control it from different perspective. So but that is available, then a PS budget is not required, because it's already the control will be available there. That is one thing. Second thing, the many options which is supplement this and all, which is when you're talking about a PS, it is just a formality, because that the real approvals and these things which you will find it in basically in that system, budget control system. So if you look at the controlling perspective also, PS budget is not that strong when you're comparing with the PSM, public sector management, BCS, PSM, BCS. So I don't know whether if you have worked in that area, so you will find that normally that funds management and budget control system, it has a lot of control. So when you're talking about this budget management, these are the functionality normally available. So basically, original budget you will have to a certain original budget will be there. Then there is a budget update. It's possible, you can transfer the budget and all those things are there. Then there is a budget carry forward if you have an annual budgeting. So this is basically you will find more in funds management perspective, because they always work based on annual budget. So that, for example, government and all, or public sector and all, they will have a annual budget will be approved, pre-approved for their basically for their spending. So for them, it is obviously the projects will be internal. They are not going to do any kind of external project. So, and it will be mostly investments, and there will be maintenance, and there will be consumables, right? So that way they differentiate the budget, then do a control. Then that is actually whatever is the commitment happened in a year, then that they will carry forward for the next year to complete it. And whatever is not, no commitment is there, then that will be lapsed. That budget will be lapsed. So they will not utilize it. You might have seen that in government and all, newspaper and all, you will be seeing that this fund was there, that is lapsed, that did not utilize and all those things. It doesn't mean that the amount is wasted. Actually, what happened, whatever the planned action they're supposed to take, they have not done it. So that amount what they supposed to utilize it is not there. So that amount is not losing. So what's happening, that execution of that plan is not happening. That is the meaning. So normally we might have seen that in the newspapers and all, that budget lost and all those things. So normally means that amount will not be carried forward. So at least they should utilize it within that financial year, or they have to commit something. It means, for example, if you are going to do a road or something like that, then they approved this much budget, then at least you should initiate the tender and give the order or something like that you have to do. Otherwise, that amount will not be there for the next year. Then this is the concept of budgeting. First, we use the best practice, easy to use it. You do overall cost planning. Okay, then that amount you do it as about top-down method, because basically the budgeting will be always top-down approach, because the highest WBS element, or we can say root level WBS, will have the entire amount. Then that will be distributed to the older child. So whatever is having the parent, and that only maximum that amount only can be distributed to the child of that parent. So that is how the budget concept is there. And another thing is important is that budgeting functionality only supports in PS for WBS element. So network activity don't have these functions for doing the controlling the budget. But whereas when you're talking about a funds management perspective, the which I said, PSM, BCS, public sector management, the budget control system, there it works in a different way because they have a concept called a derivation rule. So that derivation rule, any object you can include it. So you can add even network there. So if you don't have, if you cannot spend, more than the budget what is approved for even for that purpose. So there is a different combination, permutation, and all those things. There is a budget. There is a fund center, then and the functional area. So different concept of budgeting is there in that. So we have a concept called original budget. So this is the budget which you are initially putting on a project. Okay. For example, you will enter it normally from SAP perspective. There is a transaction code where you will maintain this is the amount which is there. So basically, what happens is instead of entering it and distributing it down, so you maintain a cost planning in the hierarchical planning. Then you that just copy it to the budget. So here there will be a question, again, what we will do. For example, you want to use the network costing, then how do we will do the hierarchical costing, because that costing will become duplicate, right? So if you are decided to use network costing for your project, then what it will be done that the network costing will be in the version 0. So you can maintain a hierarchical planning in the version 1, in CO version 1. Then during the budget, you can just copy that value here. So obviously budget will be in always in the 0 version. Then there is a concept of the original budget. There is a two terms which is there in SAP, which is one is called distributed, another one is called distributable. So the control, or you can say the allowed posting, will be always on distributable value. Okay, so how system is calculating the distributed and distributable is, for example, like in the PPT, what you are seeing is, for example, the parent WBS element have 10,000, say 10,000 USD is available. Then we have 3 child WBS element. Then I have given a budget of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 for the 3 child. So this become total 6,000, whereas here the parent has a total budget of 10,000. So whatever is given to the child, which is known as distributed, and whatever is available, the balance from the original budget, which is known as the distributable value. So for example, if you look at this WBS element, here the distributed is 0 and distributable is 3,000 because there is no child. So this is the concept SAP uses to identify the available budget. So normally, whatever is the value is considered as a distributable. That is, you can say that this much budget is available. So whatever is distributed means it will not be available. So this concept will be a issue when you are talking about there is a concept in the material management which we discussed, when we are talking about the WBS element. There is something called a grouping indicator. We use it normally for, say, MTO scenarios, or we can say where the PSP integration is coming. So you want all the material need to be grouped under one WBS element. Most of the time, it will be automatic grouping and it will be grouped under the root level WBS element. So in that case, what happened? So initially, the entire PR, PO, and all those things will be generated referring to the root level WBS element. So if you distribute the budget to the lower level, then what happens? System will give you the budget error, saying that commitment error, saying that budget is not available. So in such a scenario, you need to take care that you should not distribute it to the lower level. You need to keep it there. So those kind of projects or those kind of scenario, you will be able to just to control your overall budget at the root level. You will not be able to distribute it below. Okay, so that you need to take. Then these are the budget updates functionality. It is just a representation. Normally, from the PS perspective, it is not required because in the same transaction where you can go add or reduce, So here there is no option for here there is no control. Like for example, where is the transaction where you're entering the original budget, you can go and open the same transaction, you can add it or you can reduce the same value. So that kind of it is open when you're talking about from the PS perspective. But this concept is really available when you are talking about budget control system, where for example, if you posted an original budget, then their system won't allow you to change that value. So then this kind of scenario comes. So I hope you understood what I'm talking about. For example, in budget control system, when you put an original budget, that is original budget, that you cannot change it, that is posted. So now you want to make any changes in that one, you need to use this kind of scenarios. Either if I want more budget, then you need to use a transaction for to that same budget because there in budget control system there is a concept called as a budget address. So for example, say it's for a fund center, so that amount you cannot change it. So you want a supplement, then you need to give it. For example, in PS our budget address is a WBS element. Here that this kind of transactions are available, but it is really not useful because already the same transaction you can use it for make the changes. But this is the way normally talking about, from people will talk from the business perspective, they will say these terms, so you need to be familiar what is that. Budget supplement means something like that, we are giving additional budget. So for example, you can do in project from this WBS element to this WBS element you can transfer, and there is some concept called to project, so you can do it from another object to here, okay, or you can say it's a new budget kind of things. Then similarly there is a concept of budget return. For example, here I have more not utilized, then I can return back to here. Similarly, I can take it from here and take it back out. So this way it is concept is there in the budget, and there is a transfer, so you can transfer from here to here or here to here. So it's just look similar to here, but for example, if you look at this two scenario, you can see that it is something similar, but this concept is there. So here the real, as I said, the functions comes from the budget control system, where you have this option from one budget address you can transfer to another budget address. Similarly, for a budget address, you can give additional budget, which means the management is approving additional budget. That is considered as a supplement, but transfer is considered from one budget address to the another budget address. We can say one object to another object. And budget return is also the same thing. For example, from budget object, or you can say budget address, whatever you call it, from there it will be taken back to the pool. That is what you consider as a budget. Then there is a option is available, the releasing of budget. It's a two level. For example, say in a project, like you have seen it here, there is a budget is available, then you can release it amount little by little. For example, during the initiation phase, you need this much amount. During the planning phase, you need this much amount. That way it's possible, the releasing. You can say it's a two-level control. For example, if I want to, the commitment need to be checked, then it will check whether what is the release value or what is the original value. So this way you can segregate. And there is this is important. There is a concept called assigned value. So how system calculate assigned value, because this is important when you are talking about availability control. This is important to consider was it assigned value. Normally the availability control, for example, this availability control works based on the assigned value. So here, what is assigned value? Because normally you might have seen it in your report and all, there is assigned value there. Actually, assigned value is a runtime calculation. You will not find a value, something called assigned value, but it is system is doing it during the runtime. So how it is calculated is this is the total of value considering commitment plus fund reservation, then plus remaining order plan plus actual. So what is commitment? So commitment, there are two type of commitments are available in SAP. One is we call it as internal commitment, Another one we call it as external commitment. Both are commitment. For example, a value generated from a PR, that we call it as an internal commitment, and a value from a PO, which we call it as an external commitment. So what happened? For example, you raise the PR for 1,000, let's say 1,000 rupees. Then you created a PO for 900. Then your assigned value will become 900. Earlier it was 1,000 and later on it become. For example, if you are using the same quantity, but if your PO value is more than 1,100, then it will be a assigned value is considered 1,100, or you can say the commitment is considered 1,100. Similarly, you have a one PR for 1,000 and you have another PO without a PR you created directly for 100. So you can say 1,000 is the internal commitment and 100 is your external commitment. That way, the commitment is there. It was a value from PO and PR is considered as a commitment. Then second is a fund reservation. It is a transaction from finance where they can reserve some kind of fund, some amount. There is a transaction for that. So normally it is very rarely used, but it is possible to use it. But here, this kind of scenario normally uses, for example, if your project has some certain budget and it is including some kind of support activities. So you need some fund to be used in the future, then you can just reserve that fund for future. So that kind of concept is there. For example, for support activities, as I said earlier, you have a concept called a budget carry forward. So whatever the assigned value only, you will be carry forwarding for the next year. So if you are using a budget carry forward concept, then as I said, for example, if you have a certain support activities you are expecting for the project and you consider some amount for that, so you will not be using it immediately. That will be come in the future. So maybe the project is running for 2 years and the support activity comes after 2 years. So if you don't raise a PR now, this amount will not be carried forward for the next financial year. So to do that, you need to reserve that fund now. Otherwise, what happens? You will lose the funds. So this kind of concept normally comes in public sector and all, where they don't carry forward the budget for the next financial year if there is no commitment or if there is no assigned value from the system perspective. It's not available. So there, this kind of scenario comes. Normally, you don't find this funds in reservation, but just as a, for example, if an interview questions or anybody is asking what is assigned value, how it is calculated, so you need to consider this as well, fund reservation as well. Then there is a value which is called remaining order plan. So basically, the remaining order plan is the plan value calculated from the network. Okay, either from network or you can say maintenance order, whatever it is. If say, for example, if you are using a network hosting and there are planned value considered, for example, for internal, we consider that a different way of calculating the network hosting, different plan values are coming, right? We have the internal activity, there will be work will be there, and that will be in your internal activity cost. Then for anyway, external, no problem, that will come to under commitment directly, there will be PR will be generated. So for this internal activity, which you are considering these amounts, I mean the work, so that those amounts, the planned value, will be also considered as a assigned value. You know why? Because when you are doing a confirmation of activity, what happened? Those planned value will be converted into as an actual cost. So this commitment also become actual. For example, if PO is there, once you are doing a GRN, then this commitment will converted into actual. Similarly, if you have some kind of work planned in the initially, then if you are doing a confirmation of that activity, that value also will be considered as an actual. So this, and that is one way. Another way, you can, finance can directly post some amount, for example, some petty posting. That is also an way. Yeah.
Abdul, I have a question here. So commitment costs are reduced as soon as the GRN is done and everything is done. How the remaining order plan reduced as soon as the activities are getting confirmed? Then the remaining order plan values get reduced.
Yes, based on the confirmation.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Abdul.
Because what happened when you are confirming, that value is becoming as an actual for you.
Yeah. Yes, understood. Thanks, Abdul.
Yeah. So these are the 4
Abdul?
Yeah.
So this remaining order plan, it is only applicable for internal activities or also like external activities? How it will work, remaining
External
order plan?
normally, you will get a PR. No, directly it will, when you release it, automatically it will create a purchase requisition, right?
Okay, because of no, I have not seen of even a single time the remaining order plan value in the S&S code ALR report is there, right? So I have not seen that. That's why I'm asking. It is
Try
only
to
for
try
internal,
to try
right?
to do some network and add some work and activity type, then you will find that it will generate.
So basically, you're telling to add some KP26 for work center and activity type, and then we can able to see
Yes,
this.
yes. It's a planned value is required. Same like if you are using network hosting, it will come.
Is there any way to show it external? Because of any of PR is not all the PR will be converted into PU or something like that. I want to show
Yeah, but
some
it will be there in always
remaining
in
order.
the commitment. But what happened in SAP commitment in the standard report, you will not be able to see whether it is a PR or PO. But if you look at that table where the budget value, I think BPJE or something like that. No? So in that table, if you
Okay.
go, there is a value type is different. PR commitment is one value type and PO commitment is a different value type. So if you have, you can easily identify from that doing in your what you call custom reports.
Okay. Then I
Because
can
in standard
understood
report,
that.
they have given only one option commitment.
Okay.
So because
Then
the reason is
purely
that,
it is belongs to yes.
yeah,
Yes,
because the
please.
reason being that, for example, when you are considering this custom report, you need to make sure that if PO exists, then this value should not consider.
Okay.
For example, PR, you are converting to PO, so automatically that PR commitment will vanish and only PO commitment will exist.
Yeah, got it. That understood.
So that will be a challenge when you are doing the custom report. It's easy to show what was the PR value, PO value, but don't call it as a commitment.
No, my client is
So it will be,
asking remaining order plan means which is something which is not converted into like a goods GRN. So is all everything is thinking as a planned value something. That's why is there any way to show it the remaining order plan in the report standard report? I thought
no, standard report, they have
basically is
given
comparing with the budget.
yeah. In a standard report,
Is
the
remaining
remain order plan will be calculated, shown from the value from your network only. Network internal activity, basically that whatever the planned value is there, that will be shown as planned and not confirmed. That will
yeah.
be shown as a remain order plan.
Got it.
But commitment will PR value or PO value will be in one column, P commitment.
Yes. I know. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
So these are the different, postings normally comes, how the actual confirmation, commitment and actual comes in budget or in a system. That is what it's showing here, right? For example, actual can come from GL account posting. Direct posting will be there from finance. For example, you have some kind of petty cash, right? For that, there is no PO, PR and everything will not be there. So finance will post directly for that. And there are some direct payment, say miscellaneous payments, those kind of things will be there. Then there is a concept of overheads, process cost, interest calculation. This is also an actual, right? For example, there will be some overhead calculation. Normally, the periodic overhead calculation will be there. Then that will be posted from finance to projects. Okay, that also will be considered as actual. Then periodic transfer posting, distribution assessment. So this all those things comes. Normally, basically, these are your salaries of say supporting staff. Suppose you are a project company and you have 10 projects and you have say 3 accountant working in your company, and so that accountant salary is not directly will be posted to one project, right? So they will do a distribution, calculate the total and distribute it by how many projects or based on project value, something like that. There will be some kind of criteria for the finance. So that kind of value will come. Then basically internal activity allocation. This is what we are talking about. The KP26 allocation is there. Similarly, when you do a confirmation of activity, it's also a kind of internal activity allocation, but it is coming through confirmation. Okay. So, for example, there are KB 31 and something like that is there where you can do directly, you can do kind of, booking the cost. Activity confirmation is possible. Similarly, when you do the CN25, what you have seen, that activity confirmation, when you do the confirmation, that also cost will come to your project. I mean, it will be through network will come to WBS element. Then these are the remained order plan basically considered. For example, if you have any order, right, which is there, all the value, the planned value will be considered as a remained order plan. Then actual, obviously, when you do the confirmation, that will be the actual. So the plan and actual internal order, if is there, then PP order, process order, maintenance order. So if any order is there which is linked to your WBS element, so from everywhere, this value will be calculated.
Abdul, that remaining order value, if I am creating that project production order with account assignment category Q, so that I am creating PRPO, at that time your system is not considering, it's not checking availability. So system is allowing more than budget. When I am using the against this production order, system is checking that time is budget available. So how will we control this? I'm creating PRP.
In that case, in that kind of scenario, you need to go for the we can say evaluated that the project stock concept you have to go, where everything, all the material also you should procure from project only.
Yeah. Yes.
So when you are doing a procurement from project, obviously it will consider, if you are referring to WBS element, then obviously it will consider that.
Yeah, in this system is not considering, because PRPO I am creating, PO I am consider that tolerance limit, and then the system it's not checking the budget availability. Once you say when I am using the against production order, that time the system is checking our budget.
But what is the account assignment you are giving in the PRPO?
Yeah, I am account assignment category Q with respect to the WBS.
Then still not checking.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe something
So
wrong.
issuing time only checking, because I want to check in that normal, if you without production order, normal PRPO it's checking at PO level. If you production order against that PRPO, it's not checking it, because production order raw material I am purchasing. So and then issuing time only is checking. Purchasing time.
So just double check in the PRPO whether what is the WBS element is there. Normally it checks, because normally it checks once availability control is active, and you are doing an account assignment to that project. I mean, obviously it should be WBS element. If you are not giving WBS element, you won't check. So then normally it checks. So maybe you can just reconstruct the availability control and check it. Or if it is really happening, then maybe some kind of development is creating the issue. That we can check.
Abdul, as per my understanding, you can also check the availability tolerance limit configuration. If let's say if for particular budget, which business activity has been authorized or not. Let's say for PR, the authorization is there that
that is another concept is there. That is, we call it as an exemption.
Yeah.
For example, if certain cost element, if you want to exempt it, then that will not be considered.
Yeah.
For example, if you have a certain cost element, I will say budget from those cost element need to be exempted from the availability control. There is a configuration. So if you do that, then system will not check for that.
So that cost element, if it is assigned the PO, that system is not checking. That we need to consider.
Yeah. I will show you that one.
Yeah.
I think Abdul, what he said in the tolerance limit, we have the one more configuration in the activity based, whether PR when he creates and it has to check, or PO. Maybe that.
That is also there. I will show it to that one. We'll show him that one. Maybe then we can check that.
Yeah, that setting we done. Okay, once you show it, that.
Yeah. For example, if you might have done that plus, then it means everything will check.
Okay.
So here, then again, this is an availability control, as I said. So availability control is always checked against the assigned value. So budget will be always checked against assigned value. So we know, you know what is assigned value. So whatever the values are from the actual, from commitment, from order, everything will be considered as an assigned value. So if assigned value is more than the available budget, then system will give you, you can decide the system behavior, how it you want it. You want a warning or you want an error, whatever, or you want only information that you can fix it. So these are the configurations basically. Tolerance limit is there, then exempt cost elements are there. Then there is an option to that I will show you during the I'll show you in the system. Okay, so this is what about budget. It's a small portion actually when you're comparing the PS side, and it is extensively used, you can say, in internal projects, or you can say investment projects. And investment projects, when you're talking about, it starts from the IM, then it comes to PS. But if you are, as I said, if you are working with public sector, then obviously PS budget will not be used. They will be using the funds management, basically budget control system. That is will be there. Okay, so let us look into the system. So here. Okay, so for example, let's go to one project first. I think this one we already screwed up, so we copy this again. So let's copy only WBS element. Okay, let's copy only WBS element. So let us check whether what is the planning element. Okay, so let's put all our planning, then we'll do a so first what we need it is we will do a hierarchical planning. Okay, so let's put some value for each. So let's see how much the total. Okay, this is my total value. So when you're going to budget, this is where we do that budget. So here already view will be there. So we can just copy that to here. So that will be much easier. So edit, we'll select all, edit, copy view. Then we'll say copy view, which we want. I want this plan total view. So either I can choose it from there or I can select it like this from here. Copy view. So whether I want 100% to be transferred, or maybe I need only 90% as the value. So whatever the 100%, that will come here. Then we can use this. This is an overall value. Okay, so when you go here, you can see that this is distributed. So it means all the amount is given to the child. So these are the distributable which we are talking about. So if it is distributable means you can use it. It means available budget. Okay, then there is an option called release. So let's check whether availability control is active. Yeah. So once availability control is active means then when you are doing the posting, system will check. Once this status is active, then system will check whether that budget is available or not. So this is important. So here the problem with PS budget is, for example, if I did not put the budget, then availability control will not be active. So still people can go and create some kind of PR, right? So there is a loophole is there. So for that, normally what we need to do is using some kind of user status, you need to block it. That user status need to be there. Then that will say PR, PO, posting, all those things should be blocked with if that user status is active. So what happens? That loophole will be, we will block that loophole. So nobody can go and create PR. But again, there is one more loophole is there. If you are using a network and if you are saying auto PR for external activities, then there is no control for that. That will create PR that you cannot control even with the user status. So because that is that standard functionality of auto creation of PR for external activity, that will overrule this user status control. So that is also is there. So these are the things which you will face in real time. So for that you need to do some kind of enhancements.
Abdul,
Yeah.
so for network, anyway, it will create auto PR, but the PO can I control? Can I able to control by a user status?
Yeah, PO you can control it. PO cannot be visible. Only for PR is there. But sometimes
PO
you know
I can
you
control,
will.
right?
Yeah, PO it will not allow. Once the with the user status you say don't allow PO, that's it. It will not allow. But PR you cannot.
Okay.
So here what happened? No, sometimes really you will get stuck with this consulting. So this problem you will tell the business. You will tell the
They
business
won't
that there is a
understand.
problem. So don't be too transparent initially. Once if they found it, then that you can explain to them, because this is a standard behavior, so which we cannot control it through configurations or user status and all those things. And again, it's a budget engine is there. Then if you go touch that, then that will be another headache again if you go for development and all. So this kind of something is there. So for that, normally what we can do that is one thing is that some kind of workaround what normally can be done, but again that will create sometimes issues. But something what we can do is here, what we are talking about, not here. here there is an option reservation purchase requisition. So you always set from release. And in the field control, you make this field as a display only. So what happened? This will, user will not be able to make it immediately. So he has to release it, then only it will create the PR. So that way you can do some control. But here also you will face some issues during support. What happened? During release or something like that, some kind of error happened in your project. So if some kind of error happened, what happened now? This will automatically go to never. For example, if you are trying to release your network, then the system faces some kind of error or anything comes, then system will automatically, so PR cannot be generated, so that will set it to never. So once it's set it to never, now if you want already released also, releases came and it gone to never. So now if you want to create the PR, only option is manually you have to change it immediately. So here you will stuck. So in this, but it will be very rare case. So in that kind of scenario, you can advise them, you delete this activity and create new.
Yeah, Abdul, if there is an error while releasing from the PR side, you're telling the same error, it should be show it in while putting immediately also, no?
No, what happened?
So
Yeah, this is sometimes this is error means not because of system error. Sometimes maybe network is lost and this is lost. Some kind of issue will come.
okay, got it.
Okay, so
I thought
some
because of
yeah. For example,
while
server
releasing
no
also,
memory pages, server no memory pages issue. Something like that will come. Then somehow release set, but PR generation not happen.
okay, it's very rare, right?
So
Yeah.
yeah, very rare cases, but that comes then you will stuck in that kind of scenario. But that will happen where, for example, if you have a huge projects, a lot of activities, say thousands of activities are there, those kind of scenarios, this may comes. System performance issue and all will come. So in that case, you will stuck it. So these are the, the real life, you can say, challenges when you're talking about the budget.
Level 3, level 4 also, can I able to control the budget or only level 2?
No, any level you can put it. For example, if I want the level 2, level 4 also, then you can put it level 4 level. Where is this one, right? See, suppose BBP, then here you want the next level. I will say WBS element, then this is for PS, right? Then here I need another one for FSC or MM. So you can control to that level also.
Basically, what is happening? I have maintained budget in level 2, level 3, level 4. I have not maintained, but still it is allowing me to create PR and PO for level 3 and level 4. So
yeah, it will allow, but what happen? It will check normally the total of this.
okay, my client want even we need a control if level, see for example, level 3, level 4 they are going, they should know what is the budget they are going to use it. So
yeah, you can do that one. So for example, in this case, our that planning, whatever we are talking about, that planning one. The planning you can put it that way. For example, anyway, now it will not allow, already put the value. Otherwise, what happened? What we can do that here in the planning element, you make this all planning and this don't allow planning.
okay.
Then
No,
even for example, you can do a substitution rule. For example, we talk about the substitution, right? You can put a substitution rule if the level is greater than 3, then planning element need to be activated. Otherwise, no. Something like that you can put it. Then you make that field display only.
Okay, because we are not using any planning because of it. We have some external tool which is already approved all the cost. So we are directly putting the original budget.
Yeah, okay. That is also okay, no problem. They can do that way. But the problem, the original budget means it is open. They can do anywhere. You have seen that transaction, no? Because
I have seen that.
Yeah. So that transaction is that's what I'm saying. So PS budget is the way what you think budget control is not there really. So for that is the reason anyway, because it is like for them it is another license from the SAP perspective. So that is the reason they have come up with that industry. What is it? Public sector. I think it is here. I don't know if it's available. Yeah, here public sector management. Then there is a funds management. Under funds management, we have budgeting. Then there is a budget control system. So here there is options are there. Then there is master data is there. Then in the funds management you have master data. Then you can create master data and create budget and all those things. So that is available. So
Here the
that
budget
is
will
what.
maintain for WBS or something, some other thing.
No, it is there is a different concept because they have separate object in that. So that so you maintain budget for that object. Then you put a rule saying that there is something called FM derive or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. It is FM derive. So there is a derivation rule is specify that if my project number is starting with like this, if my project number is starting from this, then you consider this value, something like that. You can specify a rule. So system will check based on that rule whether this is available or not, like that. But again, this is applicable if it is if you are talking about a public sector company. Yes, I'm not saying not only the government, but also there is a bigger companies like big corporates and all, they uses this functionality because this is more stronger and it has a lot of functionality. You can control budget. For example, now you are talking about plant maintenance. You can create PR there. There is no budget control, right?
Yes.
So, but if your management decided nobody should create any kind of procurement without an approved budget, means our PS budget is not sufficient for that. So those kind of scenario, it comes to here, where you can have define the rules here, derivation rule you design. So you can see here for everything, no order, cost center, WBS element. So everywhere you can have a rule created to it. So this rule will decide. So for example, the WBS element, what is here? Initial value is allowed. Then here, I think, what is the commitment item? Something like that. They put the rules here, attributes, conditions. So you can put a condition here. How it will be same like our validation rule and all you are typing, no? If this is belongs to this, if number is starting from this, then you check for that, like that. That way, there is a kind of rule you can put it. So based on rule, it will work. So anything, I mean, it will not allow you to create any PR from anywhere without an approved budget. So that is the functionality of this specific module. So that is what normally more stronger, even from PS also. For example, I will say if you want to control network activity level budget, then where you will go for that? You don't have an option in PS. But here, if you specify a network also, some kind of rule saying that if activity, for example, internal activity is this, then you check budget for this combination. So if it is available, then yes, okay. Otherwise, no. So that kind of flexibility and that detail is available in here. But in PS, yes, as you said. And another problem with the PS is, for example, CJ30, I put a value. If I go to CJ30 again, I can go and change the value here again, right? There is no control. For example, here, this is a distributable. So I will say this is, I want to make it this 45. I will put it here 20 and 25. This is what you are asking, whether I can do that in the next level. So this way I can do.
Yeah, right. So, Abdul,
but here the problem,
yeah,
it is manually changeable. I can anytime and come and change it here. But from the other perspective, other module perspective, once it is like a posting. You are posting original means it's posted. cannot change your original budget.
Okay.
So there,
Yeah.
there, like I said, I shown you in the PPT, like a supplement, this, that, then those kind of things comes. Really, I mean, in SAP also, PS also, they have given the transaction, but I don't know what is the use, real use, because already CJ30 you can go and do whatever you want. But here also you have seen this somewhere here, there is original budget. Yes,
Moreover, Abdul,
supplement.
yeah. Moreover, there is in PS also there is no BAPI or BADI with the help of which we can we can create the approval process like in MM or investment management. So this is also a problem, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah, that is actually, yeah, that is also not there. Actually. That workflow, I mean, standard
Yeah.
workflow is not there. So then what you
Correct.
need to do, it's at the side, you have to create an event, custom event during the save. Then you need to generate it. You can
Yes.
you can have a custom event created saying that do at save. So once the budget is saving, then you can trigger a event. Then that event you can call it through a workflow. Then you can lock that project. So nobody can change
Yeah.
it unless and until that workflow is complete.
Correct. However, it is, yeah, as you said, standard. It is a
It is
there is
that's what
no
I'm
use
saying.
of supplement or
Budget
something.
functionality is there, but that is not strong. But I think someone was asking that doubt. Let me just show that what we were talking about, the configuration. Otherwise, you may be waiting for that. So here, the project system. Where is that? Cost, budget.
In cost, Abdul.
Yeah, budget. Then here we were talking about the budget profile.
Tolerance limit, it is available.
Specify exempt cost. This is what. So this is what I was talking about, for example. Here, for a controlling area, if you specify a cost element, then what happen? Any posting comes in this cost element, that will be exempted. That will not be considered in the budget availability control at all. So this is one option. Basically, this is required. For example, here you can see controlling area, spare parts is exempted. So obviously, if you have some project and some kind of customer complaint comes, and if you want to go to do some kind of spare parts, then surely that is not considered in the budget control. That is one thing. Then other one, what we are talking about, that in the defined tolerance limits. Here, this transaction group is there. So this transaction group, for example, instead of plus plus, if you assign all other, then what happened? PR, this two will not be considered. So if you want to consider everything, then you need to use the plus plus. So for example, if you put 2, 3, 4, 5 like that, then this two will be exempted from the budget control. I mean the availability control. This is one configuration. And second configuration, what the availability control is there. Here we can put the actions. So action also a key field, whether warning or warning with the mail or error. This is the 3 option available. So here we can set when the budget value reaches this much percentage, then what action need to be taken. So for example, once it reaches 100%, then you need to stop it. So that is what here. So even sometimes there's 5% difference is allowed, then you can put 105 for the error. So this way you can control it. How do you want to control configuration?
I have some one clarification. I activated that too. For the mail triggering, if you 90% reach, then user will get that alert mail, budget control alert mail. But user is asking that now it is how it is working. Now each and every transaction mail it's going to the user. So user is requesting once first time only I want to receive the mail. After that, whatever the transaction is doing, I don't want to receive the mail. Just one time is enough. So how we can that?
But that standard workflow, because what happened now? What is system is doing the logically, it is checking just the value, then it is simply triggering it. That event is triggering. So there is no historical check. It is not doing whether it is first transaction or last transaction. It is not there in the standard task. It is not there. It will simply send it.
Yeah,
So it will
whenever
just
the user
compare.
getting
Whenever
transaction
this
alert,
value
then it is
reaches,
going.
then it will go. Yeah, it will go. Once
Yeah.
the tolerance limit reaches, then every penny posted, they will receive one mail.
Yeah,
So
because
that
the
is
lot of mail they are receiving. So that is the reason they are telling.
that is
So
normal
how we
case.
can
For example,
Ah.
during implementation, everybody will cry, I want mail for this, I want mail for that. After go live, they will start crying, stop the mails, because the system is like a stupid, right? It doesn't know what when to send, when to send. If you have put a rule, whenever the rule is met, system will start shooting the mail.
Okay. Any
So-
customized or any that enhancement we can do that?
Sukhmanan,
Customized workflow
ask your
maybe.
basis team. Sukhmanan,
I
ask your
think
basis team to give the subject line of the email to the basis team and ask the basis team to queue all those emails, and those mails must not be sent to the user. So all those emails will be on queue. However, if the user will ask you to send him or her the email, then you can manually send the email via SOSP. So you can do this thing.
But the
You just
problem
provide this.
that the subject will be even the first also second trigger also subject will be same, right?
Yeah.
For example, budget is overshooted or something like that. That will be the same subject. So
Yeah,
that,
budget control alert like that it is coming.
so that is so in the first also second also it will be the subject will be the same. So if you stop, then first mail also will not receive.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
So that will be very tedious logic you need to put it. Whenever the first posting happens, then whenever the second posting happens, then what we can do, you can give another way. Maybe for example 90 you put it this, then maybe 91 something like that you have to, maybe you can try that. What should be the something like that, maybe you can try.
Sorry, 90 and
Yeah,
91 means I can't understand.
Yeah, only 90 you send the mail, 91 onwards you put something error or something like that.
Okay. The budget, that percentage usage.
So
Okay.
maybe that when that percentage reaches to the next level, system behavior will change.
Okay, through technical side or functional side, it is possible.
Functional side, I'm saying. For example, here 90%. You copy it one more, say 91, then another action.
Okay.
So when it reaches 91%, that action is overruled.
Okay. So I can insert one more line here. How it is? Can you show me that configuration?
It's just you can copy it. For example, here, then let's say copy it. But the problem is action is a key field. No. Action is a key field. No, not possible. Action is a key field. So only thing is then otherwise what you have to do, then the customization of workflow, you can put that logic. That workflow triggering task, no? Okay, instead of using the standard task, you ask your workflow consultant to create a custom task. Then in that you put if it is above 91%, don't send it, something like that. Okay. For example, if 90%, there you put that already the comparison value, maybe you can check whether that standard also task also possible to change the rule. If that event is there 90%, then you can put one additional logic. If it is more than 90, don't send it.
Okay.
More than 91 or something like that. Something like that you can put it.
Okay. I will check it.
Yeah, something like that you can just come out. But this is a real scenario normally comes. Initially, everybody will ask for mail. Later on, you will get plenty of mail. Then people will get frustrated. So many mails are coming. I don't want mail.
Yeah, actually last time we support project, they are asking by each project and each WBS, they were asking the budget triggering email. Then we customize it after receiving, because there are hundreds of projects. So they asked to email to the director, CFO, everyone. They and in the early morning the box is full of emails, so they stopped. Has to stop.
Yeah, that happens. That happens. This email triggering. So normally, what happens, no? People will compare with their Facebook or this. You know, when somebody say hi, then you will get a pop-up. So something like that they will expect from SAP also. But SAP is a day-to-day activity, and you know, hundreds of transactions will happen. See, everything if you start getting triggering this kind of event, then they will frustrate it. Initially, they will not understand that during the implementation. Later on, start using only, they will understand. This is actually it's a headache.
One question,
So
sir.
the best option is for this any kind of information. The best option is what is that? Yes, that report that should be a day-to-day activity for each user. Whenever they come into office, the first thing they have to run 1, 2, 3 report and check.
One question,
So,
sir. When do I need to reconstruct availability control? What situation do I need to execute this function?
yeah, for example, like he was saying, no, he made some configuration changes. Still, he is not stopping or something like that. This kind of situation, or maybe even whenever you this, for example, this I just put the budget. But still,
when I supplement the budget, when I cut the budget, return the budget, do I need to reconstruct the
no, that normally system takes. But for example, in some cases, only AVSC will not active. That is one option, activating that one. Second thing, for example, the same thing. What you said, you added some $1,000 extra to the project, but still system is showing the error, commitment error, saying that the budget is not available. That kind of scenario also may come. Sometimes the value is even though budget is available, but you will get a wrong message saying that the budget is not available. Commitment error will come. So those kind of situations, you can just reconstruct it again. So maybe that it is not properly controlling it.
And what currency is the control? The one that is the project currency, or because sometimes the fluctuation of the rate can lead to a budget exceed.
Budget is normally is putting into the controlling area currency, right? So you can put it in any currency. You can put the budget, but the controlling always happens. The checks happens based on the controlling area currency.
Okay.
So automatically, so what happened here in the configuration, the budget profile, we are giving that conversion factor. If any profile, if you check, here we are putting that exchange rate. How do you into currency translation? So based on that,
my company controlling area currency is INR, and then we are operating in multiple countries. So that time we are creating country-wise project profile and budget profile. So that time I can use object currency or controlling area currency. In the when I am maintaining
whatever you, in PS from CEO perspective, whatever you currency you use it, you can use it, no problem. But finally, the system checks always happens based on the controlling area currency. The value you can use it, no problem. The backend check, what the program will do, always that will controlling area currency will be the base for that. So system will consider this exchange rate, then convert. So this one, what kind of rate you need to do it, that you have to check with your finance, then you have to use that one.
Yeah, when we are maintaining the budget, that time is system is have the option controlling area currency and object currency. That what is the difference that both the option?
That is here, no? For example, when you put
CJ30 or some.
Yeah, here there is this option is there. This currency will take which currency you want, that it will take from here.
Okay.
So object currency means from your company code it will take. Controlling area currency means it will take from your. Or you can put transaction currency means whatever the currency you want, you can enter it while doing it. For example, your object currency is USD, controlling area is INR, and you want to do it in euro, then you put a transaction currency, you put euro.
Okay.
But still, whatever the backend control is, that the program level checking is always happens based on the controlling area currency. So that is because CO works based on controlling area currency. All because PS is part of CO, right? So all this CO activity will be always based on this. So that is base. Okay, I think maybe what we can do, we'll stop for the day. If any doubt is there, we can take it up in the next session.
Yeah, Abdul,
If
one
it
more
is
doubt.
not there, if it is not there, that what we will do, we'll go for the project progress analysis.
Yeah, Abdul, one last doubt. I need one clarification. Example, I created 4 company codes and I did the configuration, PS configuration. Then I want to activate investment management. So that 4 company code, different project profile, budget profile, planning profile, I configured. So that in the IM, I can go one appropriate investment program type, or I have to create a company code wise.
I think IM also works based on controlling area, right?
Yeah, I am also working controlling area, but I have created
whatever the object works based on controlling area, it is possible to create one program. But for example, if your company is, I mean, that corporate is not planning the investment entire corporate level, they want it individual company level, then you have to go for the company level.
Okay. In that appropriate request, we have the option to maintain the project profile. So I have to maintain, or I can keep it blank. Then it will
that
create
only,
that.
I think that is only a defaulting value, isn't it? While creating, you have option to change it, right?
Yeah.
So whatever, for example, even the project profile also, many value which is there is option while after creating, it is allowing you to edit it. It means no need. Means it's not a it is only a defaulting value where you will be able to manually change it, because most of the object in SAP which works at controlling area level, that gives this functionality. The configuration value is just for a defaulting. Then while creating, user will be able to change it. Then that is normally we control it through field control. In the field, if you make it display, then the user will not be able to change it, because that is what that is how it will be done. So almost all the almost all CO objects, not only PS or IM, if any CO object, if you take it, so CO object behavior is like that. Whatever the configuration value will be just for a defaulting value. Then the rest you will be able to change it during the transaction. But then, for example, if you decide that I don't want user to change it during transaction, if I mean the core team and all your business say that, then that you need to control it through the field control. The field you go and make it as a display only. So that is the basic rule. I mean, any CO object basically that works based on controlling area. So that configurations, the org unit of configuration is just a defaulting value where you can go and make the change.
Okay.
Okay.
So that investment,
sorry.
Yeah, investment program type, we have to maintain that status profile now. So if I not received the proper approval matrix, so I can maintain that normally temporarily one that profile status. Then when I'm getting the final approval list, then I can configure now, because temporarily I can maintain one normal status profile. One I can test after that if it is.
It's a bit risky. For example, if you change the status profile later on, if you go and access the previous one, you may get some kind of inconsistency.
So if example,
object number, sometimes you are having additional status, you can change it. Status is allowed to change it. There is no issue. But this may sometimes, I'm not saying always comes, but sometimes it may come with that inconsistency. Then you need to write to SAP, they will give a program.
This is the testing purpose only, in development only. Just I configure because example, if you
anyway, it is your test client, you can change it later on. You can even
Yeah,
you can
the
just
initial
go to
stage
the
is 10 only.
table level and you can delete it
Initial-
and do it again. So
Hmm.
testing is not a problem. What I'm saying in
So
a
when
production
it is,
client, so
no, when it is going to production, that will be final. So development time, we can test the initial level 10 and last 70 is reject or cancellation. That remaining, if anything new add, I can
yes.
add
For
20, 30,
example,
40.
if something is not sure, 100% sure of configurations, that is the reason SAP has given the concept of sandbox, where you can configure and show demo. Then once they approve, then you go to Golden Client and do it.
Okay.
Golden Client you can delete, there is no issue, but this normal, like, demonstration kind of purpose, it will be better to, if you have a sandbox in your landscape, that will be better to use it.
Okay.
So in the sandbox is like, there is no TR will be transport request will not be created, and it will be allowed to change anything. It's like a play client. You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
If you have a sandbox in your
Understood.
landscape, then try to do that in this sandbox and show to them. Then once they agree, then you do that one in your development client. So this way, what happens?
Yeah.
Two things are there. One is you are not disturbing the system. Second, you will have more hands-on to do those things also. Free hand to do that.
Okay.
Sandbox means you have full freedom. You don't have to worry what will happen. So anything happens, you can just clear it off.
Okay.
Okay, and see you in the next class.
Yeah. Thank you.